In other news, I suppose the other thing that's keeping the world buzzing at the moment, apart from the World Cup, is this news coming from Thailand. So it was confirmed yesterday that all 12 boys and their football coach, who had been stranded in this cave and at one point were believed to be lost, had been rescued after being trapped there for over 2 weeks. The rescue attempt was led by Thai Navy SEALs. They managed to get the boys through a complicated and narrow route. It was very time-consuming, with each boy coming out one at a time, but they've done it.
Isn't it wonderful? Just such a great, happy ending. And one of those stories that you can hear people talking about as you do your shopping or you're out in the street. I heard someone just say yesterday, they're all out. They're all out. There's no more explanation needed. You knew exactly what they meant. And it was an audacious rescue, really. One site in Nottinghamshire specialises in something similar. They simulate real-life scenarios at their site in Mansfield and train people on what to do in a rescue in a tight place. BBC Radio Nottingham's Laurie Dyche went along for a bit of training.
Thing on the back is on. You can adjust it by just turning it. You just pop your shoulder in that one.
I'm just getting into my personal protective equipment at the MRS training and rescue site in Mansfield. Mark Whittaker is the manager here, and he's helping me into my overalls and hard hat. And just pull that.
Pull it so it's nice and tight, yeah.
So what's this that's going on?
This is an open circuit type breathing apparatus. This is similar sort of principle that the divers would have had in Thailand. This is what you would identify more readily with the fire brigade.
These breathing apparatus are filled with compressed air, but they can only be used for about 30 minutes. The boys in Thailand were around 3 kilometres away from the entrance to the cave, which meant the divers would be underwater for a lot longer than that. So how did they reach the boys if they only had oxygen for half an hour?
The diagrams and images that have been sent through suggest that there are various plunge pools, in other words, areas where they've had to dive to get to another chamber, and then they can progress on foot further until they've come to another plunge pool where they've got to dive again. I think what the most likely solution to it would have been to take resources through to each subsequent area as they progress further and further into the caving system, taking spare cylinders and equipment along with them, and obviously change of clothes, dry clothes, refreshments, drinks, etc. Because it's taken quite a while and a lot of resources to get them as far and deep into the mountain where they eventually found the children.
The galleries under the building were purposely made to simulate the environment you would expect in a mine, like cramped and enclosed spaces. But since the mine's closed, they're now used for training in other industries like nuclear and civil engineering.
The roadway I'm showing you now is the top and bottom roadway. The top roadway narrows off to approximately 18 inches 2 foot high, and it's approximately 3 feet wide. That's been designed to simulate an area where potentially you'd be able to access, but not necessarily with the breathing apparatus being worn on your back. Now, I understand in Thailand they had to remove the cylinders off the backs because the physical dimensions to get through wouldn't allow them. And they had to pass the cylinder while still breathing from the cylinder ahead of them, whilst then wriggling on behind them to make further progress into the cave system.
And how difficult is that to do?
I would imagine it's quite difficult, certainly in water. We practice it in a controlled dry environment, of course, where they can take the cylinder off and push it along in front of the tunnel because of the reduced size. I would imagine in a tunnel that would have been, wow, incredible.
So that's one expert's opinion on what these Thai divers and these boys have actually been through, what they've managed to achieve getting them all out. Incredible.